Cheki. I had a conversation with a senior data scientist working for an international company yenye inaitwa Kamoa. It's a fintech company. The guy is called Guyo Jarso. A very cool guy and gave me very important insight on what it takes to get to this field. Started with a very simple question about how he discovered data science, and he told me that he did statistics and got an internship after studying in the Standard. In the Standard, he started off like a business intelligence analyst, but later on advanced to doing data science.
Just after campus, as usual, I joined the Standard Group as an intern. I didn't know about data science. My background is in statistics, so I joined there as an assistant business analyst.
Okay.
Just doing usual data analysis stuff. At Standard Group, I was just doing some market share analysis. Market share analysis is where you compare now the adverts that appear on standard newspaper, and you compare that against all the other newspapers in Kenya, like the Nation newspaper, the Star, and all the others. And we say this is the share of advert in Standard as compared to the other newspapers.
Oh, nice.
So at that time, I met some very wonderful manager there. At that time, he was already thinking about data science. The newspaper model was already changing. People wanted to go to digital platform for their newspapers. The discussion was picking up in other countries, like for the New York Times and other industry leaders at that time. And even though Standard Group didn't know anything about that, he was keen about us moving to that direction. So he introduced me to data science. But unfortunately, I didn't stay there for long. I left.
And since he was a senior data scientist, I had to ask him what's the difference between a senior data scientist and a junior data scientist, which he told me that the difference is basically in the mentality and not basically in the skills, but rather in the way they approach problems and how they approach the business itself.
Yeah, so I always have this conversation with my friends. Not even lead. Lead is just, I don't like the name lead, but like a senior data scientist.
Yeah, senior.
And a junior data scientist. And we say the only difference is the major difference. There are many differences, but the major one is mentality. Like the mentality of a senior data scientist is different from a junior data scientist. So a senior data scientist is someone who thinks business, is someone who is is proactive. You try to think the future, even when, for example, when you take a task, you think the future. When you write a piece of code, you try to make it like future proof. You make sure you think about the business strategy. Yeah, so the mentality, I think, is what is the distinction between a junior and a senior data scientist.
He also told me one of the most interesting jobs he did was the effect he had on the editorial team after they did some analysis, and it really helped boost the Standard.
I don't know, it's a difficult one. What is crazy, the thing that I did when I was at Standard Group, long time ago, I didn't know things, I didn't have like good technical skills. But one of the things that we did there was, we came up with a way of measuring the editorial staff at that time. So over the years, now the way newspapers work is the editorial team, the correspondent, they normally write stories, and then the editors will decide which story will find itself on the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like even thousands and thousands of them are written, but very few of them will get to publication. So that is one of the analysis that we did. We came out with that finding, like this is the issue. And then after that now, we started now tracking for every correspondent, for example. You write a story, at what point does it get rejected? How many stories do you write? How many of them get rejected? I think that the analysis that we did together with the system that we came up with really improved the performance, I think, at the editorial level.
Okay. Salary expectations is one of the things that people usually talk about a lot. And I also just had to ask him about the salary expectation for anybody doing data science, if he's a junior, a mid-level, or a senior. in which he told me for a junior he should expect anything between 80 to 130,000. For mid-level, anything between 100, 130, 150 to about 200, 200 plus. And anybody who is a senior role, anything above 250,000.
Depends. When you look at now the job market in Kenya, there are probably like 3 tracks. You can join like an established Kenyan company, let's say like banks. All these banks, they employ data scientists. So for those ones, from what I hear, I also it's difficult to know. So you are talking about a junior, right?
A junior, a person who has just gotten their first job.
Yeah. So I think for a junior, those can be like 100, from 80 to 150, 80 to let's say 130.
Yeah.
That's an entry level data scientist.
Okay.
A mid level from 150 to 200 and something, and then 200 and above for a senior, it can between 200 and 400,000. And then the startups, of course, are a bit outliers.
Okay.
Let's not discuss those ones.
This guy was dropping gems on gems, and I suggest you go to my YouTube channel where you'll find the whole conversation, about 40 minutes long, which was very, very educative.